All right, Fidel Gastro here at Fork and Barrel in East Falls. Recipient of a few good write-ups lately, having a couple beers, and I am talking with the bartender here. Your name?
My name is Ben Miosi.
Ben Miosi is going to tell us what it takes to actually serve beer here, because it seems to be quite a niche position.
Yeah, it could be called that. For me personally, I started working in a brewery called Bethlehem Brewworks when I was about 19, and I worked my way up to bartender. They soon after opened a Belgian beer lounge, so I had gained a rudimentary knowledge of the brewing process, and then when the Belgian movement kind of started to make waves here in early 2000, we had about 120 Belgian beers downstairs, and I fell completely in love with the diversity and the complexity of those beers. And to know the menu well, I mean, we drank a lot of them often, so that was a big part of my study, I guess. And then I fell out of it for a couple of years. I got kind of, I guess, sick of the bigness, I suppose, is to use a terrible term.
I think that's great, though. People get that. People get that.
Of a lot of the beers, they were, all so robust and all so alcoholic and so, intense that I needed a break. So, fast forward to 2009, I got back into bartending, and I took a position at a restaurant called Tap and Table, one of our sister restaurants in Emmaus, Pennsylvania. They had a 250 bottle list spanning most countries, not just Belgium, but France and Germany and Italy, etc. And I was quickly asked to assume operations of the restaurant, become general manager, and in doing so, needed to know the bottle list inside and out. So over the course of the next, I'd say, 2 months, I drank 5-6 different beers a night for 120 days, and in that time frame, I really got a firm grasp on the list, you could say, and I just became obsessed with the nuances, with the flavor profiles, with all of the diversity therein. So it was really a fun experience and a voyage through kind of the dynamic range of beer styles, which I didn't even know existed at that point. I thought Belgian beer was the most complex of them all, and it turns out that Belgian beer is only one prong of the overall idea. So it's turned into an obsession for me and all of us at Fork and Barrel, and we routinely sample and discuss the beer and why it's important, where it's from, what it pairs with, and the more you learn, the deeper the rabbit hole goes. So that's really where we're at right now.
Very interesting. So, future aspirations?
I plan on staying involved in the beer business as long as I can. If not in the food service, on the food service side of it, then possibly in some other capacity. But right now, I'm heavily invested in the success of our aspirations, and all of our restaurants are very important to me. So I'm hoping that I can leverage my love of beer into education opportunities for the general public, and to share what I've learned with other people as organized and passionately as possible.
Awesome. Now, challenging question. Favorite beer?
Favorite beer on earth is Del Borgo Riele Extra, an Italian IPA by Beer Officio Del Borgo. I'm calling it right now the perfect beer. Orval was my favorite beer on the planet for many years. I think Del Borgo Riele Extra beats Orval, which is, to any beer geek listening or watching, I know that's a bold statement and one that I make confidently.
Now, one more question.
Sure.
Philly beer scene. It's amazing.
Yes.
How do the Philly beers, local craft beers, Dogfish, Yards, what have you, how do they stack up against just beers worldwide?
I think there's a lot of great things coming out of the East Coast specifically. I'd like to see a little more inventiveness personally with some local craft beers, and I'm probably going to upset some people with that opinion. I hope not. Dogfish has come out with quite a few rather adventurous beers, I think. Personally, I would like to see more creativity and a little more boundary pushing in the local Philly scene, but we obviously have, a great infrastructure for beer fans and beer knowledge, lots of great beer bars around, so I think it has a long way to go, but ultimately it's doing all right.
All right. Thanks for the knowledge, man.
No
Appreciate it.